Hi, it's Nina, your grief coach. The political climate in the United States is causing us quite a bit of collective grief and what is known as masked grief. Collective grief is sadness, that's shared by a community in the wake of tragedy. And mass grief is grief that presents with physical symptoms, and behavioral changes rather than a conscious sadness. I sort of think of it as the teenager of grief. I want you to ask yourselves some of the following questions because it could be that you're experiencing mass grief. Have you experienced an increase of anxiety and stress that's unexplained? Are you having more frequent mood changes or feeling dysregulated? That could also be a sign of mass grief. Do you have an upset stomach that can't be medically explained? Do you have more frequent headaches or migraines that are also not medically explained? Have you been experiencing increased insomnia, or are you having shoulder and neck pain? You could really be experiencing both collective grief and masked grief, due to the loss of our country, as we knew it, and also with the continual tragedies that we see facing our people and our communities on a daily basis. We see and feel and hear suffering, tragedy, injustice, violations of human rights and civil rights. We've been seeing murder and increased threats to our economic, social, and medical well-being. And this is really influencing our mental well-being and also our quality of life. It's really no wonder so many are really grieving at this time. Fear, increased anxiety, stress, masked and collective grief are really felt, whether conscious or not. It's not only by marginalized communities, it's all the people who bring color, culture, art, vision, science, innovation, care, love, kindness into our communities. Those of us who really believe in anti-racist ideals, peace, equity, diversity, inclusion, safety, justice, and human rights are really grieving more than we are admitting to ourselves and to each other. So it's not about being right. It's not about being right at all, but it has to be about taking care of ourselves first, and then we can take care of each other. The hatred, the uncertainty, this fear, the sadness, the violence and trauma are coming at us daily. And many of us have lived through more than we want to handle as far as trauma goes. And I want you to really please consider that collective and masked grief may be weighing on all of us more than we are acknowledging to ourselves and to each other. So what should we do? Because this is really big and this is, really heavy. So I think it's really important to become more aware of what your body's feeling. Definitely do a daily body scan. I will be saying this over and over again. Where are you experiencing discomfort or like holding your stress? Start adding ways and time for self-care. Start feeding your body well. Turn off the news. Plug into people. Plug into activities and passions, that lift up your spirit. Don't feed on the negativity. Share in positivity. That is what will truly help us when we're grieving, because we are truly grieving together. So I guess join me here in the conversation. I really want to hear more about how you're experiencing either masked grief or collective grief. And that's it. Until next time in our next conversation. See you then.